Welcome back, everybody. We got another episode of the podcast today. Before we get started, please make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and yeah, if you're liking the content, just keep on watching. Today, it's a pretty special episode. So today we have George on. I'll kind of run it through a little bit, and then he'll explain himself a little bit. But he is a entrepreneur, a gym owner. He's a father of 3 boys, new grandpa.
Yep.
Yes, sir. And yeah, he's family. Never really talked to him though, but he's family. So please welcome George.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for making the drive down here.
Oh, no worries.
Appreciate it a lot.
You guys aren't too far, so it's all right.
Yeah. So can you please just kind of give a little bit of like a background, little whatever you want to say about yourself?
So as far as like the fitness stuff, I've been in the fitness probably for 15 years, 16 years. So, you know,
Awesome.
lots of, you know, ups and downs, and, you know, just like everybody else, you know, you start in fitness and you're like trying to get in shape, and then life happens and you get out of shape, and, you know, been married for 21 years. So, you know, life's pretty good, man. I can't complain.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it seems like it's going good, and you're starting to get into branching out into social media and trying to make like a presence for yourself on there, right?
a little bit. So the whole social media thing for me, it's not necessarily for me to like attract clients. I'm kind of good where I'm at as far as like clientele and like my coaching and all that. The reason we started doing that was actually so my son could get into like filming and editing.
Oh, interesting.
So it actually, it really has nothing to do with like my coaching business.
Oh, okay. So all the videos that go up, your son's recording those and then editing those in post?
Yep. So he's the one doing all that.
You know, he's kind of killing it. Because I'm looking at him like, oh man, it's kind of a nice video.
Right. And he's starting, you know what I mean? But it was more like, so with the studio, you know, when we had the studio, at first it was like we were running very like basic ads, you know, for like strength and conditioning and things like that for like youth kids. And so I was like, hey, why don't you like help me out with like recording some videos? And they were, you know, like basic like old man videos. And so he was just like
this, how you do a squat.
Yeah. You know, it's like, oh, hey, bring your kids and we'll make them faster and stronger. Yeah. And, you know, he's young. So he's like, yo, Pop, like, this sucks, man. I'm like, you gotta make it better. You got to make it exciting. So, you know, they all work at the studio. And so that's kind of what he took over. And, you know, he's just kind of playing with it and still getting better. It's way better than it was in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, it's a learning process with that stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, is this your oldest son? Or
that's my middle son. So he just turned 18. He just graduated.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, and all 3 of them have, you know, kind of been obviously in the gym forever. You know, they all started lifting real young and stuff. So they all kind of grew up, I guess, in the gym, but they all worked there and helped me train, you know, a lot of the kids stuff. But that one in particular, he's kind of been there the whole time. And, you know, he kind of had like more of a knack for like seeing things in the filming and the angles and things like that. And it interested him. So I was like, yo, dude, I'll buy you like some equipment or something if you need it. And he's like, yeah. So
he's got like a whole setup, a camera and everything.
Yeah, he's got like a gimbal and like all kinds of stuff. I mean, I don't know how, you know. And then actually like now, I mean, like I said, you know, I'm 40, so I'm like a lot of stuff. I'm like, I don't care.
Hold up, you're 40?
Yeah, I'm 40.
So you look like 35.
I was gonna say,
yeah. So a lot of this stuff is like he's like, dude, it's just way easier on my phone. He's like, just let me do my thing. All right.
Oh, so he's using his phone then?
A lot of times, yeah, because he was using like, you know, a program on like the laptop, and he, like if he's making something longer or something, you know, like more intricate, so he'll use the computer. But like a lot of the quick, like just the reels that you know he keeps posting, he'll just use his phone. Literally, like we'll be at the gym and he'll just record it and he'll go home and work on it. Like an hour later, he's like, "Yo, post this." All right, cool. I'm like,
yeah, that's awesome because Victor Casas, he does a lot of his stuff on his phone.
Really?
Yeah, which is super interesting because he's making a whole career out of it. Yeah. And 90% of the stuff he does is there's this app, I think it's called VN. That's what it's called, and that's what he uses
Really?
Yeah, it's cool.
And like we actually reached out to him, and super cool. Obviously he's like family and everything. So I was like, hey, my son's doing this thing. Any advice? And like super cool, man. He like messaged us back and gave us some advice.
Yeah.
What he said to do, my son was like, yo, that's working. So like, yeah. So it seems to be working. I mean, again, I'm still new to the Instagram thing, so it's like that's why I'm like, you guys message me, and I'm like, I'm old. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know. There's like lights and blinks and things. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, I just know double tap means like.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I just go in and I'm like, just go lift weights and that's it. I'm like, you tell me if you need me to stand somewhere or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all him. So I should pay more attention to it, but. Yeah, that's all basically just so, I mean, he learns the skill.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you don't have an interest in it, it's more just for him learning the skill.
Yeah.
Then you just go do you and let him just do him.
It's pretty much
and learn through the process.
And it seems like it's working out pretty well. Your videos are getting like thousands of views.
It is. And I'm like, I'm new, so I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, does this mean like 5,000 people looked at this thing? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, that's good, right? He's like, yeah, that's good. And it's like, I'm still like trying to understand, like Facebook. So I took like Facebook marketing and things like that, and I'm like, I understand that like my demographic, being 40 and dealing with like kids and things like that, my demographics is more Facebook,
Right.
Like I would say probably like 35 and older. And then it's like Instagram is probably like 35 and younger.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the exact age groups, but it's like, okay, the people that message me on Instagram are like my kids' age.
Yeah.
And when I post something on Facebook and I run it as an ad, it's like old guys that are trying to get in shape, people trying to lose weight or things like that. So it's like, I understand my old man Facebook, and then the new, it's like, all right, explain this. What does this do? How does that work?
Yeah, well, it's a lot of the same. It just things are in different buttons,
Yeah.
So, you have a studio right now?
So we had the studio up until COVID, and then so that was the second studio. So we had like maybe like a 1,200 square foot was the original.
Okay.
That was probably about 7 years ago. We started there, then we moved to a bigger location. It was like 2,800 square feet. Bought a bunch of Cybex equipment, the whole thing. And then COVID, we ran that for like 2 years probably, and it was doing really good. Everything was good, as far as the personal training. I basically just didn't have any more time, so it's like we had more trainers in there. Everything was good. And then COVID,
Yeah.
So what happened with COVID is obviously we went probably, I think it was like 3 to 4 months where, you're still paying the lease, you're still paying all the bills.
Yeah, but you're not getting any clientele.
Yeah, you're not getting any clientele. Then COVID passes and everyone's like, yo, it's going to be a little bit because, we're all poor now and all that.
Yeah, nobody got paid.
Yeah. But during COVID, what happened is my online coaching basically just took off. And so,
also you've got online coaching as well.
So yeah, after COVID, essentially there was like, tax breaks because you're a business owner and this and that. And me and the wife were like, hey, like this is, we're going to do better shutting the studio down and killing the overhead.
Right.
And just focusing more on online coaching. And so that's the route we took. And I'm like, yeah.
So you closed down the studio
So
then.
we closed down the studio we kept it going for like almost a year just for us. But
right, just to see if
it was
for
just,
you guys to go into use.
It was just shut down, yeah. So that way we were doing all of our videos in there. Nobody's telling you what you can record, what you can't record.
Right.
We had some buddies come in and do the same thing. We were kind of tinkering with like renting it out for like photo shoots and things like that. You know what I mean? I'm always kind of like hustling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, we were kind of looking at different angles. And then after about 9 months, it was like, all right, like, I'm not paying insurance on it anymore, but I'm like, it's costing me a lot to have my own baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, man, I got to shut it down, because you could go in there Christmas morning, Thanksgiving.
I mean, you own the place, so whenever you want, you just hop in there.
Yeah, and all the machines were in there. I mean, we had everything, squat racks, everything. Everything was Cybex, so it's like, I handpicked all the old school like bodybuilding machines that I wanted.
Nice.
But, you got to do the adult thing and just be like.
You just take your losses and like, all right, it's got
it was just better on the and for the money, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So with that, is that something you try to open up later again, or are you kind of just gonna go more head into the online training route and see where that takes you?
Honestly, I don't know. I kept all the equipment, so I just got like a big storage unit, and so because those are my babies, man. Like
all the I mean, you spent probably a good amount of money on those things.
A lot of money, yeah. So we put all the the high end stuff, all the Cybex, squat racks, bumper plates, everything. Yeah, we put that in a storage unit, and so I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I mean, worst case scenario, I live out in the country and I have a pole barn, so I'm like, I'll have the coolest home gym ever.
Yeah. That's one of my goals is one day live out in the country somewhere, have like a little farm out there, chickens, a little farm, and have a nice big barn where I have just me, my gym, and I have friends and family come over.
Dude, that's
yeah, that's something I've always wanted.
So that's a thing, huh?
Yeah.
I see. I'm the guy that I have to like go somewhere. I would love to have it in my pole barn, but I'm like, it's the 20 minutes of drive time to like put my song on.
Oh, so it's like a whole process.
Yeah.
Like the way you're on. Well, you're driving to the gym. You're getting hyped with the song. Yeah. You get there. Everyone else is working out, getting hyped.
Yeah. And especially when it was our own personal studio, man, because it's like the only people that worked out there were friends, family, and so it's like guys that work out with you, and it's like you could deadlift and make noise, and nobody cared, and so it was a completely different atmosphere, man. It was good times. Yeah.
So starting that fitness studio, is that something that you had always dreamt of? And keeping it more as a studio, or were you trying to go and branch out to kind of open up to the public and open up a membership?
So I guess it was always going to be like, in my mind, I was like a private studio. Mm-hmm. So, and we were never trying to like, I mean, you're not going to compete with like Planet Fitness.
Right. Just the prices are.
Yeah. And so originally when I started personal training, it was more like, people would ask you questions. Hey, what do you do? What are you doing for this? How do you eat? How do I work out? And I'm like, I don't know, man. This is what I do. This was before like all the certifications and all the crap that nobody cares about. So it was like, well, people keep asking me. I might as well just like go get certified or something.
Right.
Maybe like I could charge.
Like do something out of this.
Yeah, stuff like that. So I did the personal training certificates. Got all those, and then I was like, okay, well, there's nowhere in town where I can actually train. Like nobody really hires personal trainers direct. Everybody is direct. So everybody's like, you either work for Planet Fitness, you either work for, and it's like, you're going to make like $10, $12 an hour.
Yeah. Real quick, when I got out of the military, I had a certification through ISSA for a personal trainer. And, I got out and I was really into it. I'm like, I'm going to be a trainer. Yeah. And so I got a job at LA Fitness. Okay. Being a trainer there. Yeah. I lasted all about 2 weeks.
That was it? You were like, I'm out?
It was $7.50 an hour.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. And on top of that, I could only be there when I had clients.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I could be there otherwise, but if I'm just there hanging out on the clock.
Right.
I can't do that, So
they're like, you can't even just hang out. Like
No. I mean, I guess I could, but I wouldn't have to be like on the clock or anything. Right. But the reason I really joined that specific gym is because they told me that they had a high need for a bilingual trainer. Okay. Because that area there's a lot of Hispanics. Gotcha. And I came in. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a gym membership. And we start talking. Oh, Spanish. I'm like, yeah, I'm actually a trainer. And they're like, oh, cool. And they're like, wait, you're a trainer? Right. And then I was like, yeah. And then I feel like they just saw money signs. Right. So I joined onto the team, and I never once got a Hispanic speaking or a Spanish speaking person.
Really?
With me. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as they told all the Spanish speaking people, hey, we have somebody who speaks Spanish that can train you, they're like, oh, you see, I don't have the money. Right. So then after 2 weeks of it, it was rough when I first got in the military. So then I was like, you know what? This isn't going to cut it right now. So then I left.
You're like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you see the prices that they're charging, and it's like, wait a minute, like you guys are charging a ton an hour. Yeah. So that was when I couldn't find anywhere. I was like, screw it. I'm just going to open my own place. Mm-hmm. So that's what we did. We basically went in with the model of I can't compete with anybody in town. So we went just a private high ticket item.
Yeah.
So that
makes
was,
sense.
and people were like, "You're crazy," and I'm like, "Yeah," you know what I mean?
You're like, duh. Why else would I do it?
Yeah. And so I had a full-time job. I mean, I still have a full-time job. I work at Subaru. I'm like in metal fabrication. Yeah. So I'm like, I work like 5 to 2:30 every day. So it's like everything has to be done at night. Side hustle. So I would literally like leave work, go straight to the studio, either hit a workout in, and then train clients the rest of the night. Or train clients, work out at the end of the night, go home.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I have so many hours in the day. How am I going to make this work?
Right.
So you have to charge a ton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, otherwise it's not worth my time. I'm like, I have a good job. Why am I doing this? So
right, exactly. And if you're charging a ton, you're providing a good quality service.
You're
back to the clients.
Exactly.
So
yeah, because you have. I always said, I'm like, and still to this day, I take on enough clients where I can remember, so and so doesn't like broccoli. He's diabetic. He's on this. He's taking that.
Right.
He's allergic to glucose, legit. Not like everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like, I just don't like it, but I'm allergic.
So I'm like, I try and keep my clientele to where it's like I know every client. Because they message you all day, all the time. You know what I mean? And it's like, so when somebody messages you and they're like Texas Roadhouse freaking out because it's like, what am I supposed to eat? It's my kid's birthday. You got to know, okay, who is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you just have to like recall what their things are.
Yeah, because it's like they're waiting to order. They're like, hey, I got like 4 minutes before the waiter comes back.
At that point, they just start calling you. Like, hey, what am I supposed to eat?
Yeah, but it's like, hey, and it's the way the world works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get that service, I'm going to charge you for it. Like my time isn't free. So that's basically the model we went, and
and it's been working out.
It worked out,
yeah.
So far, yeah. And now it's like with the studio being gone, I brought my online clients down, and it's manageable,
Right.
So for the studio, you said that you're basically the only trainer there?
I started as the only trainer there, and then we ended up bringing on 2 more trainers, 3 in the end. Mm-hmm. So we had a total of 3 trainers. That's why we moved to the other location, just because it was like 1 trainer could train at a time, maybe 2, depending on what you were doing. And then it was just like, okay, well, we need a bigger space, or, it's just... You can't hire any more trainers.
Right.
So we moved to the bigger location, got more trainers, and it's good. I mean, the studio was really good learning experience as far as business. So what works, what doesn't work, marketing. And
so when it came to that, how was like the startup, and did you have to take out like loans, or was it all just out of pocket?
All out of pocket, yeah.
All out of pocket?
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Like even the equipment?
All the equipment, yeah. So, and that's, that you got to like hustle, And the other thing too is, you're working. So it's like, hey, I'm taking some of my money, and buying this.
Yeah, because that's crazy. Because a lot of people, when they open up something like a business, all right, I'm full into this. I'm leaving my daytime job. That's it. But you're like, I'm going to keep my secure daytime job that pays me well. And on top of that, I'm going to add entrepreneurship, which is a whole thing.
Yeah. And I'm 40 with 3 kids and a wife. So it's like, quitting my job was not an option.
Not really an option.
No. So it's like, hey, kids got to eat. You know what I mean? You got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
So it was, if you're going to do this, you have to do what you're doing now, and then
on top of
work on your thing, your side hustle.
Yeah. You're like, I know what I'm getting myself into. Like, let's do it.
And that was like, I didn't make any money. Like everything that I got from the first personal training client was like, okay, we're going to buy a bunch of resistance bands.
Right. Yeah. Just reinvest right back into the business.
I'd get another one, and it's like, okay, I can afford a squat rack or whatever. And then, you just keep going and going. And
what's one of the, like the gym equipment that you bought that you're like, oh, like you've been waiting to get that one piece?
It's like a Cybex incline. Okay. So I'm really, really into like the old school, like Cybex machines.
Okay.
And we actually drove to, I think it was like Ohio. So we drove to Ohio to pick these things up. Because it was like a 3-piece set, and it was like a shoulder press, an incline, and a row. And so it's like that. Like I found that, and I was like, I will buy it. Hold it for me. I'm like, I will take the day off. I'm like,
yeah, you're like, I'm on my way right now.
Yeah, and it's like I love gyms, you know. So I'm like, I've been
Right.
to gyms in like Panama City and California, and you know, like everywhere we go, it's like I want to go and see a gym that is different, you know.
Right.
So it's like I've used tons of gym equipment, and I knew these are the pieces that I want. You know? So yeah, it's those like that incline. I will never sell it.
Oh yeah,
Never,
you're like this is the
never.
one piece
Oh,
I will keep forever.
Yeah, it like, especially the way we train. You know, we train intense. We don't train. You know, you train hard.
Right.
And
right.
it's like with those types of machines, it's very easy to like get in the groove and just destroy yourself. You know.
Yeah.
Some of like the newer like all these matrix and they're like cable-y and weird and.
Yeah,
They just,
like the all-in-one home gym. Type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, and you know you do what you can with what you got. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it's like I've been doing it for a long time. It's like I don't incline press, barbell press very often anymore. Every once in a while, I'm more like the things that I still love. You know, like I focus on like the slow, the concentrated squeeze, and the just intense. You know, and I'm like, I'm done with like the junk volume days, and
Yeah,
so
where
it's
you're
like,
just launching the weight up as fast as you can every single time.
I'm like, so like those machines, man, that's what they're built for. It's like you just to me, it sounds weird, but it's like getting in a sports car. So
Okay.
you know the feel when you get in a sports car, and
Yeah,
you're
and you're like,
oh
here we
shit,
go.
we're about to go fast.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like, yeah, we're about to tear something. Let's do
Okay.
this. You know, that's to
Yeah.
me, that's fitness equipment, man.
So then your training style is more bodybuilding-esque. Do you throw in some athletic training in there, like some plyometrics?
So my style, I guess, would definitely be more towards like a bodybuilding.
Okay.
So we do like feeders or warm-ups, whatever movement we're doing, 2, 3, 4 warm-ups, not burn ourselves out. And then we do what's just called a top set. So it is to failure. So I
Okay.
always train with a workout partner.
Right.
So if I'm doing, you know, whatever incline press for whatever the weight may be, I'm going to push until the bar starts to go back down.
Yeah.
And then the partner basically says, no, we're not done yet. And then
It just helps you out for a couple more reps.
squeak out 2 or 3 more. And then we do a back off set with a drop. Typically, this is kind of our routine. So essentially, we pull a little bit of weight off because when you go to all out failure, you can't do the same weight for the same reps. Okay?
Not at all.
And it's like everyone will argue and be like, "Oh, I do 3 sets of 12." Be like, "Well, then your first set sucked, man." Sorry, you know.
Yeah.
So we do a back off set, pull a little bit of weight, you know, off,
Okay.
and then go until failure. So there's no forced reps. We go until you can't do any more. Rack it. Pull some weight off, go until you can't go again.
Nice.
And that's it. I'm done. So I did 2 sets. That was it.
Yeah.
So if say it's like an incline press, I'm like, I do 2 sets, and that was all I did. Like,
Yeah, but you did one to failure.
Yeah.
And the other one, you just essentially back to failure, but you're taking weight off every single time.
yeah. So basically, we're going until there is nothing left in that muscle. So it's like,
Yeah.
like okay, that was all I had.
And then once you're done, you're like, ah.
yeah. Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Just super pumped.
Yeah, super pumped and like you can't breathe because my cardio sucks. But, yeah, so that's how we train. And as far as like plyometrics and stuff, it's really, really hard to either put on muscle or get get size and doing anything else because
Okay.
I can't eat any more food.
So yeah. So you're on the end where if you don't eat, you probably start losing weight, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I walk around typically. I'm 5'8". I walk around about 185.
Okay.
You know, and that's not like big. That's where I feel comfortable.
Right.
You know, but I have to eat 45 to 4,800 calories,
Jeez.
which doesn't seem like a crazy number
Yeah.
until you're like, but it's all chicken and rice and ground beef and eggs and oatmeal.
Yeah.
So you're really strict with your diet?
Yeah. Yeah. Like as far as my diet, every once in a while, you know, if I'm like on vacation or something,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty much on meal plan all year round. That's, you know, and it's because you train that way. It's like, you got to eat that way.
Yeah. That way you get the most out of your training, right?
Otherwise you're just wasting it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, all that effort you're putting in the gym is kind of going towards nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I'm not destroying my body, you know, and then
Yeah.
being like, oh, I'm going to go eat a pizza and be like, yeah, I just wasted all that. You know
Yeah,
what I
you're
mean?
like, what was the point of the training I just did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I try and eat pretty clean and just, you know, the only way to do it is to eat 6-7 meals a day. I mean, So
I mean, when you're trying to consume that many calories, it's definitely
time is because you go to bed and you're just super full, super miserable at night.
Yeah.
And then when I diet down, like say for the summer a little bit, then it's like, oh, it's manageable. You cut out 500, 1,000 calories, and it's like, oh, I feel human again. I don't feel like a hog at the trough.
Just constantly eating.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. We all know like working out is sort of a roller coaster. What's been like your lowest point, like in your fitness journey?
So my lowest point, I started lifting obviously like weights class, and I really loved it. So I was in high school, probably 16, and then probably about 20 to 21, I had to stop working out and basically like get a part-time job just so my wife could watch the kids. And so, I kept eating the way I'd always ate, and it started to catch up. And so that was probably my lowest, where I wasn't working out. I was still eating like, the guy that does work out.
Yeah.
And I wasn't eating super clean back then. It was like, I'd have a little bit of clean food and then, a bunch of crap and Taco Bell. And,
I'm assuming you were just trying to like figure it out because you said you were trying to provide during then. Like, I feel like now you already have like established, like routine that you do every single day. Because from what I've been hearing, like you're a grinder.
Yeah.
Like, you work at Subaru probably full time.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you probably do overtime at some point too.
Yeah, we work a lot. Yeah. So, yeah, and yeah, you're right. I was just trying to figure out what, how to keep everything going, and fitness had to go. So that was definitely my lowest, where, I got fat. Like, there's no, I got fat. And so that, obviously, it's like you get this complex, especially when it's like, I used to be the big guy, and then that's taken away from you. And then on top of that, I've got kids. So it's like I'm running around with the kids, and I'm like, like
getting winded super fast.
Man, I'm so tired. And it's you try and blame it on like work and this and that. And you're like, no, dude, you're just unhealthy and fat.
Yeah. You're like, I gotta get my shit together.
Yeah. So that would definitely be the low point. So
okay. So you say you've been working out for about 15 years now?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm 40. I started when I was 16. But it's like when you're 16, it's like you go to the gym and you work out. You know what I mean? You don't know what the hell you're doing. Then I took that break, and I would say from probably about 23, because I was fat for like a year or two. I would say from 22 to 23, yeah. And that's when I started like the whole MMA thing. And so...
Yeah, because you walked in with that belt. I'm like, holy cow. Like,
yeah.
What's going on here? I didn't even know you were a fighter.
Yeah. That was...
So kind of talk to us about that. How'd you even get into fighting and everything?
So I grew up... My dad was a black belt in martial arts. All right, so... he really liked baseball, but martial arts was kind of the thing, for us. So, I played baseball, did a little bit of wrestling, kind of tried this and that, but it always just kind of reverted back to like, martial arts, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, fighting, all that stuff. And then, my dad obviously was like always into like the Jean-Claude Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all the 80s stuff. And because I'm an 80s baby. So... Then the first UFC came out, and I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the like original UFCs where it's like,
I mean, I wasn't young or like when they were coming out. I don't remember, but I have looked back into them. Yeah.
So there's like no rules, and me and my dad would watch those, and it was just like basically 8 dudes come in. It's like we're gonna beat the crap out of each other until
one person walks
one
out.
guy walks out, know, and during the first UFCs, it was actually like a guy that was probably like my dad's size. And you're like, how in the hell, he was really good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But it's like, wow, that's pretty crazy. Like that, this average sized guy is beating the shit out of all these other big guys. And you know what I mean? And it's like, they had boxers and they had, so, ever since then, it was like, that kind of piqued my interest or whatever. And so I was always into kickboxing and boxing and things like that. And then how the whole actual fighting for me started, because I never really thought, I thought it was super cool, but I never thought about, I want to be an MMA fighter.
Right.
I was actually hitting the bag upstairs at a local gym in Lafayette, so international. They had like a ring, and they had like a couple mats, and they had some punching bags. So I was always up there hitting the bag because I hated cardio. So I'm hitting the bag. Guy comes up. And he's like, hey, man. He's like, what do you do? I'm like, nothing. I just hate the treadmill. So I'm like, I'm just hitting the bag. And he's like, all right. He's like, shakes my hand, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And he kind of goes and sits, and I'm hitting the bag like, all right, you know. So then as he's leaving, he comes over and he gives me a card. Well, that guy ended up being my manager.
Oh, cool.
So gives me this card, and he's like, hey, you know, I want you to come check out this thing that I have, these fights that I do. And once I found out what it was, I was like, oh, dude, yeah, I want to go see, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So he gave me some tickets. I took my dad with me, and we went and watched the first like live event or whatever I'd ever been to. And I took my dad with me because, you know, we trained together forever. And so I was like, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, you need to do this. Yeah. And so that was pretty much where it started. So then, you know, I mean, we were very new to that sport too. And I'm like, I wasn't going to fight for free. You know, I'm like, hey, I'm like,
right. You're like, I need to get paid for this stuff.
Yeah. So I actually trained for, I don't know, probably 6 months before my first fight. My dad trained me because that's all we really knew. You know what I mean? And we didn't know what the hell we were doing because it's like we were stand-up fighters.
Oh, you guys didn't go much on the ground?
We didn't do a whole... I mean, we knew the basics, but we weren't like jiu-jitsu guys at that point.
Right.
So, yeah. So I started fighting, and the first few fights were... I mean, they were pretty easy. So then you get hooked, and you're like, man, this is easy money. You know what I mean? And
so you won your first few fights?
Yeah, I won. So I actually went 13-1. I think it was 13-1. So the only fight I ever lost was the last one. So, but yeah, the first few fights, man, I mean, you just, you know, you're nervous and you're scared, and, you know, and then especially for me, they were really bad because they actually were in Lafayette, where all my family was from.
Oh, so then they all start hearing you're fighting, and they all start going to the fights?
Yeah, dude. So it's like, you know, half of your family is there. And it's like, these people are here, and they're going to watch me get the crap beat out of me. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
I'm not supposed to go to family dinner.
Yeah, like, hey, remember that one time we saw you get the crap beat out of you?
Yeah.
Like, dude, come on, man. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was quite the experience, man.
So how long did you fight? So you had 14 total fights. How long, over the time span of how long?
Probably 3 to 3.5 years. I tried to fight every like 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Every 3 to 4 months is kind of a good time frame. When you start off, you'll fight anyone. It's like,
right, because you're like, I'm trying to get my name out there.
Yeah. So how it works is you have a manager, and then they get you fights. So basically, they get you a fight, and they call it your purse. So you get, say, whatever the price may be, $500 in the beginning, you know, $1,000, whatever it may be. You get $500 to show up, and they double your purse if you win.
Oh, okay.
So if you show up, you're gonna get $500.
Yeah.
If you win, you get 1,000.
1,000. Okay.
So I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then the manager's like, okay, now don't forget, you know, I get a cut of this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So they take 20%, and that pays for the manager, some of the promotional stuff, you know, all the. So it's like, okay, so my $500 is now, you know, whatever, $450. If I win, you know, it's like, okay, well, so you know, they get a piece of the pie too, which, you know, it's like they take care of like everything, travel, they do everything,
like all like the paperwork stuff that goes behind it.
Yeah. And then so a lot of stuff, you know, this is probably like all brand new to you guys too, but it's like
a little bit, yeah,
you
but
gotta,
it's fine.
you gotta do like blood work, you know what I mean? You gotta do like all the drug testing and all, you know what I mean, all this stuff. So it's like that 20%, you know, gets taken out.
Okay.
So then I fought locally a few times, which was, you know, not too bad. And then I got picked up by a league in Chicago. So I go to Chicago, and over there it was basically you show up for your purse. So say it's $1,000, you win, it's $1,000. And then every night they had submission of the night, knockout of the night, and fight of the night.
Okay.
So essentially there's 4 bonuses.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So typically, okay, you show up for $500,
right,
or $1,000 or whatever, and then they'll match your pay. So now, say you're getting $500 to show up, $1,000 if you win, and you win a bonus, it's $1,500.
Oh, that's cool.
Or $1,000, or depending on, you know, how high up the ranks.
Yeah, on the tier level that you're at.
Yeah. So that's basically how, you know, how you get paid. So it was like, that's why I'm like, that's like the beginning of my fitness career, I guess, because it's like
through fighting.
That's the first paycheck I ever got. You know what I mean? It wasn't what I thought, but yeah. So, you go fight and they pay you money. You get punched in the face for money.
Yeah.
So
when was it that you're like, you know what, I'm coming towards the end. Let me just back off a little bit, maybe exit the this whole scene and go into what you're doing now.
So I fought. You basically like work your way up the ranks. When I went to Chicago, I fought a couple of guys that were like on TV, that kind of thing. And I was still coming up. And so
right.
You get hyped up on yourself sometimes, right? So
I mean, with the record like 13-1, yeah, man.
That's you think you're invincible. You think you're, So what happened was when I was like, dude, I think I could do this, Now, they called me like a couple weeks. No, it was actually like the week of. So basically they called me the first fight in Chicago I ever fought, which was the big leagues. Like, you move up through like the local ranks and then somebody picks you up and they're like, hey,
Right.
So the first fight I ever got basically was just like a last minute call. They called me like 4 or 5 days before and they're like, hey, there's this guy, he's in your weight class, and I was known for being like a stand-up, scrappy, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not the most technical, like technique was not, I'm not like, this like super like artsy and like, no, I'm like,
yeah, you're like, I'm in here to fight.
Brute strength. And I'm like, I got good stand-up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the one thing, like, everybody God gives you gifts, man. I could take an ass whooping and I don't fall down.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm like my literally like my go-to is like guy hits me and it's like you should fall down, and I'm like, but for some reason the lights stay on.
You're like, I don't know why, but I'm not falling.
And so it's like that was my thing, I'm like, I just take a beating, and it's nothing special. It's like everybody in those top tier leagues, but it's like around here, it's like
right.
So when I went they called me and they said, hey, we got this guy. He's way better than you. Basically, you're going to go up there and get your ass whooped, but you're going to make some money. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, let's do it.
Let's do it. I mean, you're doing it for a paycheck.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, the show money's better than what I'm making winning here. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I went up there and I knocked that guy out in like 36 seconds.
Jeez.
And I got like the knockout of the night. That's where I found out about bonuses.
You got extra money.
Yeah. What's this for? So I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm like, I'm going to the UFC, man.
Yeah. Also, at one point, were you like really in it to where you're like, dude, I can make this a whole career? Going to the UFC.
My wife and my dad were like, why are you still working? Like, you need to.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were the ones that were like pushing again, like, dude, stop, or like, go train somewhere better, because it's like you're training locally. And
yeah.
And my wife was the one that was like, say the word and we're out, let's go. But, it's like, I got kids and the wife, always. So it's like,
at that level, there's definitely a lot more risks you can take.
Yeah.
One good hit to the head and bam, you got CTE.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then it's like, even coming up, it's like, I broke my hand, I broke my foot, like I chipped my elbow, like cauliflower ear. I mean, it's, so it's like, it's inevitable. You're going to break a hand.
It's all battle scars, man.
Yeah. So it's like, you got to think, like, what if I can't fight for 6 months? What if I can't fight for a year? What am I going to do for the paycheck? So, plus, I always liked having the comfort of my regular job, So, yeah, I took that fight, won, hyped myself up. I was like, I'm going to do it. I kept fighting. You get some tough fights, and then sometimes you come back, and you're just like, dude, that was not worth it. You go through some like wars, and yeah, man, like you're driving back, you'd ride back with like your manager, and usually it'd be like a couple other guys, from your team or whatever.
Got it.
And you just be riding back, and it's like your head is just killing you, and you can't see out of one eye by the time you get home. Shit. And yeah, it's, so
yeah,
it makes you think, So then I took the big fight in Puerto Rico. I hated traveling. Was
that your first like international fight?
International, yeah. That was the only one I did international. Fighting in Chicago wasn't bad because it was still 2 hours away, 3 hours away. Right. So it's like, even if I stayed there for the night, did my like publicity, they take pictures, they weigh you. And, but going to Puerto Rico, it was like, that whole experience of being away from my family,
You're like, this isn't for me.
This is not for me. And it's like, you feel like absolute turds because it's like, dude, I lost like 30 pounds for this fight.
Yeah.
They've got you on stage and it's like, you got to be, what is it? Kissing babies and shaking hands. It's they're asking you all these questions about, like, how do you think the fight's going to go tomorrow? And it's like, I'm going to try and knock the guy out.
Yeah. You just stand there like, I'm just trying to
it's like, dude, I just want some Gatorade. You know what I mean? Like, get me on a damn scale and let me drink a Gatorade, please.
Yeah, you're like, stop fucking talking to me.
Yeah. So, I went out there and I fought a guy. He'd fought in Bellator. He'd fought in Pride. You know what I mean? He was like legit. And I got caught in the first round, man, with an arm triangle. And I mean, it kind of humbles you. You know what I mean? And I'd been training in Chicago. I don't know if you guys know who Miguel Torres is. So he was the WEC like bantamweight champion. Okay. So I'd been driving to Chicago and training there. So it's like, you're working, drive 2 hours, train 2 hours, drive back, go to work. You know what I mean?
Dang.
So I took that fight and it was like, all right, it's either all in or get out.
Right. After that fight, you're like, this is the deciding fight.
Yeah. After that fight, it was like, you got to get in all the way or get out because it's like you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure fighting somebody who went through Pride and Bellator and all that stuff, you probably felt the level of difference between all the other guys you've been fighting, right? Just you start fighting him, you're like, yo, this is different.
Yeah. So the whole way through my career, I stand-up was not an issue. Mm-hmm. Like, my stand-up was, I felt very comfortable. Guys, you're going to get beat up. Guys hit you, different styles. I fought a southpaw one time, and it's like, I felt like I was way better than him. My feet work was way better, but he was a southpaw, and he just had my number. So it's like, I was a kicker. I would throw like 1-2 combos, lots of leg kicks, lots of body shots, that kind of thing. He just had my number. So it's like, I'm not saying that he wasn't better than me, but he just stylistically didn't match up,
Got it.
It's like you hear that a lot, but people don't understand. It's like, no matter what I did, he would just blast me with his overhand. And it's like, I would start watching his feet and timing, and I'm like, you're doing your thing, you're slipping. And then it's like, every time that I would go throw anything, bam, he would just hit me with this cross.
I can't get out of it.
And it's like, what the hell? How am I, just stylistically, it just didn't, it didn't.
Yeah, so like the style of fight automatically puts you at a disadvantage.
Yeah. And it's like, you plan for this, you watch videos on the guy, but it's like until you get in the ring and you're like, damn, that guy hits really hard, or like,
it's hard to think after that.
Dude,
one hit.
Oh yeah. And it's like, everybody goes through these scraps in school where you get punched in the head or, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's different when there's a guy that's been trained in 3 months to beat the crap out of you.
Yeah. Right.
And it's like everybody hits hard. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, and like one time I went in, I'm like, I took a shot, just wasn't paying attention. I don't know, I didn't see it, and it's like then you're trying to recover for a whole round. You're just like, in my mind, I would always tell myself, don't fall down, don't fall down, don't fall down. Just keep your hands up, don't fall down. But then it's like, dude, you just went 5 minutes just stalling, trying to get your marbles back together. And it's like now you're down around, you know what I mean? So come back.
You got like a couple more seconds to take a little break and then go back to the next round.
Yeah, you get 1 minute. So it's like when you're in there, you hear the clack. So it's like basically like two boards, they smack together and you have 5 seconds left. Okay. So that noise is the greatest noise on the planet because you're like, I survived another round. You know what I mean? I made it. And so then it's like you get up and you're always trying to be like, I'm not hurt. You know what I mean? But it's like you're trying to like remember which corner is yours. And so you go back to your corner and it's like, like I got to recover. You got 1 minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to recover for another 5 minutes.
For another 5 minutes. Yeah.
So I always wondered however like people took punches and beatings like that. Yeah. Because as a kid, my dad bought us like boxing gloves.
Yeah.
And Wedo and I would go back and forth all the time. And he would hit me, and then I just remember that feeling of just my face going numb.
Yeah.
And still trying to fight back. I mean, we were kids, like 10, 11, 12 years old or whatever.
Right.
And we're going at it, and then like I think about it now, and I'm like, dude, doing that, and then you have to worry about not just punches but kicks.
Yeah.
And then if you get taken to the ground, and then all of that, trying to recover and keep like your footing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's intense.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then it's like I said, stylistically, man, you get a wrestler and it's like, I don't want to wrestle. I want to stand and bang. So you get a wrestler and it's like he picks you up and he just smashes you into the ground. He's ground and pounding you and you're just like, dude, I just want to get up and fight, man. Like,
it's like, get the fuck
I just want to get up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But he's not letting you no matter what you do, right?
Yeah. The first few, like here locally, dude, everybody wrestles. You know what I mean? It's like everybody wrestles. So yeah, the first few fights, it's like you go in and I'm like, I'd get a couple shots off and then he'd pick me up and dump me on my ass. And I'm like, dude, like, let me up. And then it's like the round would end or whatever. And it's like, okay, I'm back on my feet. You know what I mean? Like, I got like 5 to 10 seconds before this homie tries to pick me up and dump me on my head again.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to, get some shots in and wobble them. And it's like, oh, we're in my world now. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like, welcome. Like, let's get it.
Yeah. And then I had to start jiu-jitsu because it was like, dude, I'm getting the crap beat out of me every fight. I win, but it's like, I'm taking a lot of punishment that I shouldn't be.
Right.
If a guy stands and bangs, at least with me, I felt very comfortable. Like, I'm totally cool with like taking some shots to the face or like somebody. I'm cool with that. Like, I grew up doing that. That's fine.
Yeah, but when it comes to submissions,
it's like I still don't know the whole game and all that. So it's like, but yeah, man, it was an experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's super interesting, and that's something that I've always wanted to get into. We took karate classes as a kid. Never super serious or anything.
Right.
I think it was a self-defense class that Dad put us in.
I don't know. I just remember going, and there was this kid that was a brown belt. It was a bigger kid in front of us.
Right.
One time he bent over and farted. I was like,
Dude, I'm pretty sure that kid sat on my foot and farted on my foot.
That's funny.
Yeah, but nowadays, I think about it, and it's something I've always wanted to do, to get into like a jiu-jitsu class.
Right.
Or some kind of martial arts training like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just, that kind of like piqued my interest within the last couple year or so.
Dude, jiu-jitsu, man.
Yeah.
I think jiu-jitsu, I think all kids should take jiu-jitsu if they're into that stuff. Especially like the kids that are like not interested in like sports, baseball, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like team stuff.
Dude, jiu-jitsu is like, man, it makes you so strong and confident.
Yeah.
Now, like, since I had the studio, I train tons of kids. So it's like,
right.
I love that, like, I don't know, probably like 9, like the middle school age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Freshmen are like still cool. Sophomores, it's like, not that there's anything wrong with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like those like middle school years, man. You could like mold this kid, and it's like they come in and they're like, they haven't hit puberty yet sometimes, and it's like you work with one of those kids and you like change their life when it's like, dude, this old jack guy at the gym told me that I was strong. Like, you know.
And then that gets in their head and they start thinking about it.
Yeah. And so like that, man, I fell in love with that. So I'm like, jiu-jitsu for kids, I think that's great, especially girls. Because it's like, man, like you learn so much. And it's like, you don't have to be super big. You don't have to be super strong. Jiu-jitsu will teach you technique.
No. Yeah, because in the Marines, we did a lot of like ground wrestling and stuff, where you would be on your knees, back to back touching, and then whatever instructor, he would like blow a whistle or like give a command. You turn around and go, right?
Right.
And me, I mean, I'm a bigger dude, so I relied a lot on like just force.
Right.
But this one time I came across a guy, he was a smaller guy, but he had done like wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the past. And I would just like, just my normal thing. I'm all right, cool. Like he'll get in a position, I'll just like fling him off me.
Right.
And I'll do a basic headlock, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm good, solid. And I just could not get this dude off of me.
He's like a spider monkey, right?
He's like, I have him, like I'm on his back, and then all of a sudden he'll be on my back, and I turn around and he's still on my back. And I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, man. Some of those guys.
It's interesting.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's like some of them just have a knack too. It's like, dude, you're wiry as hell. And it's like, I'd roll with some guys.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's like, and then they use their feet like their hands. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, did you come from the Amazon? Because it's like, and some of them guys, man, they love it. So it's like 2-3 hours, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna do like an hour, and then I gotta go do my stand up, and then I got to strength train. So it's like those guys, those guys are trouble, man. Yeah.
It's fun though. It's a good environment and then you're done, and then you're just like, all right, man.
Yeah, high five,
good job,
and you're smoked. Like, I've never done anything so exhausting as like an hour of like jujitsu.
Yeah,
because it's like, I mean, it's literally like doing pull-ups after push-ups and pull-ups and push-ups. And I mean, your fingertips hurt.
Yeah, your forearms are shot. It's hard to grip anything.
Oh, yeah. And then it's like you do that for, say, like 6 weeks. Say you make it and you're like, oh, I really like this. 6 weeks. You're not as tired and you're like, dude, I'm getting strong. You know what I mean? It's like, I got that orangutan strength going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to do something with this.
Hell yeah, yeah. So I didn't like it when I was fighting, but Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like for like martial arts training, anything with your kids, I love that stuff, man. Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. So yeah, well, I'm having a daughter in November, and when she's a little older, I'm definitely gonna push as like self-defense stuff.
Yeah,
but definitely like some kind of grappling, jiu-jitsu or whatever, you know, something. So I'm really looking forward to doing something like that.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations on the daughter, man.
I appreciate it. Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
A little crazy, but
I told Pablo he looks like an all-girls dad.
An all-girls dad, really?
I mean, you have all boys.
Yeah, I got all boys, man. So
Oh, that must be crazy competitive between the three, right? Or even you, like all four of you guys.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah,
because they're all doing some kind of sport, or I mean, for sure the gym, and they get really competitive.
Yeah, so it's crazy. I mean, I'm sure you've seen them. So it's like I have one that's like my height. And then somehow I got like a 6-footer. And then my youngest one is like, he'll be way past 6 foot. I think he's like 6 foot now and he's 15.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And so they all lift with me, you know what I mean? Yeah. And the little one, he's 196, like 6 foot. He's 15. Nice.
Yeah.
So it's like they talk all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like they just talk mad shit no matter what, whether it's like, you're old, you're slow, you're bad, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's like they all kind of gang up on me most of the time, you know, but it's like I still got like that fear, so they leave me alone, you know what I mean?
Right.
They don't know that they can take me yet, so they still have that fear. It's just like one day they're going to test it, I'm going to be like, shit, I got nothing. You know what I mean? Like, it's out. They know.
Yeah. The secret's out.
Yeah, but right now they still think I can take them, so, you know. But yeah, everything is competitive. It doesn't matter if it's a foot race or who can eat more pizza. It doesn't matter. It is.
They're always competing with each other.
Always. You can't play Mario Kart without somebody like yelling at each other. Dude. Yeah.
Especially because they're not that far off in age, right?
Nah. So they're all within 5 years of each other.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's like 19, 18, and 15. So yeah. And they all hang out together. They play whatever Wizards and Warriors and stuff together online.
Wizards and Warriors.
I don't know. Whatever games they're playing, man.
Yeah.
I quit with the video games at like, what was it? Call of Duty.
Like which one?
First one?
You're like, I don't know.
They had me doing like killing zombies, right?
Probably like Black Ops
there you
2
go.
or something.
Okay, so I'm like, probably like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I played video games up to that point, and then it was like, I suck. I'm out. You know what I mean? I can't compete anymore. And then nobody wanted to be on my team. So I'm like, all right, screw you guys.
He sucks. We don't want him on
I'm
team.
out.
Yeah.
So, and we all work out together. So, it's real competitive, but except in the gym. You know, in the gym, they're all pretty laid back. They all basically just train, man.
Yeah, it's very supportive once they get in there.
Yeah. And then they all eat on meal plan. So all of them literally have like a thing on the refrigerator where it's like
that's so cool.
Awesome.
Meal 1 through 5, and then the little dude.
Yeah.
So he's in wrestling. He starts wrestling, I think, in like 6 weeks or something. So he's obviously a little bit looser with his diet, and then we'll bring him down to whatever weight class he needs to be in. But everybody has a meal plan on the refrigerator, and so.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome because that keeps them like pretty accountable, and like not even just with eating meals and stuff. It probably correlates with other stuff that they do in their lives too.
Yeah, I think so. Because it's like it gives them structures. The middle one for sure. He's just like, dude, if I'm not eating my meals, he's like, I have no structure. He's like, I lose track of what day it is because he's like, for everything for him is it a push, pull, legs, arms, off day? What day is it, you know?
Yeah.
So he's like, dude, everything just starts to like blur, and I'm like, I don't know.
He's like, before you know, I'm just eating whatever. I don't even know what I'm training anymore.
Yeah. So
nice.
He's big into that. The middle one, the little one, I think he's more like, you know, hey, they're doing it, I'm gonna go do it too. You know what I mean? And so then, you know, he starts to get in shape, and he's like, oh, all right, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, he starts noticing he's getting strong.
Yeah.
Getting leaner.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah, he blew up. It's like he can eat.
You say he was 196?
Yeah.
At 15?
At 15, yeah.
He's got...
big.
Yeah, so he put on 24 pounds this off season.
Holy cow.
Nice.
But it's different, man, because it's like, obviously with the studio, it's like I trained tons of kids, and it's like you can train your ass off. If you don't eat the food, nothing's going to happen.
Right.
You're going to get a little bigger, but you're going to be sloppy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're not gonna be all the way there.
Yeah. So, and with him, it's like we gave him essentially like a meal plan, and it was like outside of this, eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you can fit in outside of this, have at it. And so it's like every once in a while he'll like eat a couple cookies or like some cereal, but it's like there's so much food in there that he's like,
Yeah,
like
he's not. He's full.
Yeah.
You know.
At that
So-
point, he's not even hungry at all.
he'll go get like the conchas or whatever, you know what I mean? Because he
Yeah,
loves
yeah.
those things, and it's like it'll sit on the counter for like 3 or 4 days, and it's like you trying to fit that in, aren't you? And he's like, yeah,
He's like, yeah, I just haven't been able to yet.
yeah. So
Nice. Well, normally towards the end of the podcast, we're coming up on the hour mark. So normally we do some would you rather's, and we do like some serious ones or like some more funny ones too.
Right.
So we have the first one coming up. So the first one is would you rather be able to eat anything you want and have it be perfect nutrition, or only have to sleep 1 hour a day and be fully rested?
oh, dude, I take the 1 hour a day.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah! If I only slept 1 hour a day, oh hell
Yeah.
yeah!
Dude, you could do so much more.
Are you kidding me? Like I'd start another business, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, I take that one.
I'll say, well, with what you just told us, like, imagine only needing 1 hour of sleep a day.
Yeah.
All your training to and from Chicago back
yeah.
then, like, that would have been
Oh, I'd
glorious.
take that. Yeah, man. I'm like, dude, I could do so much. I don't sleep enough as it is now, so it's like I'll
Yeah.
totally be up for that one.
Yeah. What would you do?
I think I would probably do that too.
Yeah?
Sleeping one. Yeah. Earlier when you told me I chose the diet one, but now that you're saying like I could like live 2 lives with just sleeping.
I mean,
1 hour
yeah,
a day.
you
Oh
could.
yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I would take the nutrition part.
Really?
I've always struggled with nutrition, man. Look at me, bro. I've always struggled with the nutrition.
All right, so the average person sleeps what, like 7 hours, right?
Yeah, that's literally how much I sleep.
Okay, so you got 6 hours now. You could squeeze 2 hours at the gym and still have
You're right.
4 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? It's like the best of both worlds, right there.
Yeah. Or I can just not worry about what I'm eating, and have perfect nutrition.
You're like, I want cake, man. I want
Well,
cake.
for now, yeah. Once I get a 6-pack, I'll take the sleep. Yeah, exactly.
Once I get a 6-pack.
Yeah, you gotta have some faith, man. It says, okay. So next one: would you rather be able to converse with animals, or have fluency in every language, so you can speak with anybody across the world, or speak to any animal?
Definitely every language across the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
That would do the same.
Okay,
language, yeah.
honestly, so it would be so cool just to switch language like that.
Yeah.
I feel like if you'd be able to speak with any animal, they just like, I don't know what they would he be able to even tell you. Like it'd be just nonsense.
Be like, yo, that monkey's butt smells real good, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I can't get my kids to listen to me. What the hell am I going to do with a lion that won't listen to me?
Yeah,
You're right? I mean,
yeah, they're not gonna listen to you anyway.
hell yeah. Dude, my dog won't listen to me. What, I know he understands. We might not speak,
Yeah,
but
he'll look at you and be like, "I'm not doing
he's
that."
like, I'm not doing that, dude. So,
Yeah, because then you could like speak all the like different like native tongues in like Africa or like Indian or anything like that.
Yeah.
That just opens up doors for more opportunities too.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, especially for you guys, right? I mean, like, this
Yeah,
is your
exactly.
world.
Yeah.
Dude,
You can
it
have
would be like
anybody on.
anybody. And just that alone, being like, yeah, this dude speaks like 10 languages or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Shit, I struggle with Spanish already.
yeah, I feel you, man. It's like the less you speak it, it's like you start to forget.
Yeah, because ever since I moved out of my parents' house, I mean, living with them, obviously my mom doesn't speak English, so
Right.
it'd be Spanish every single day.
Right.
But then I moved out to college. Didn't see them every day.
Yeah.
English was my only language throughout the whole day. And then I got home, my mom told me something, tried to tell her something in Spanish, and it just didn't come
It
out
just
the way
didn't
I
come
wanted
out.
it to.
Exactly.
You're like, what the hell?
And then she gets mad,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're like, they give you the disappointed look.
Or then she just looks at me
Yeah,
like,
cool.
Yeah. That's something I'm trying to do better is my Spanish, especially with having a kid.
Yeah.
I want her to know Spanish and be able to communicate with her grandparents.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, we said the same thing, and it's like, yeah, they're like coconut Mexicans.
And then
they're like brown on the outside, but they're white.
oh, that's good.
Yeah, like,
that's good.
They can't live without like
yeah.
air conditioning. No, they out.
Yeah, dude, clip it.
That was a good one.
Coconut. I'll put that on a shirt.
Coconut
Yeah,
Mexican.
coconut Mexican.
Yeah. And then you go like, obviously, like, you know, we see you guys quite often. So it's like, you go to all these get-togethers, right? And then like you got like my Sasquatch kid, and he knows like 3 words, right? So it's like bien. He knows how to say like leche. You know, he's got like, you know. So then we'll go to somewhere, and you know, you got all these old ladies, and they'll be like, "Oh, mijo, you know, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo está tu papá?" This and that, and he's just like,
Leche.
you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, just go sit down. Man.
Yeah, it's like, dude, just
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I got another one here. So would you rather have mastery over any and all scientific or mathematical concepts, or be able to create artistic masterpieces using any medium?
That was a handful.
Yeah, I'll take the artsy.
The artsy one?
Yeah.
That's what I would do too.
I'll take the mastery.
Well, no, it's mastery in 2 things. So either one, you're a master in like scientific concepts and stuff like that, or you're just a master about being an artist in any medium. So like, let's say you turn around and you start painting, and then you turn around and edit, and both things are like master.
Yeah,
you know?
that would be my go-to.
Yeah,
Especially with the editing. That would be nice.
Yeah.
that's the first thing I thought of too, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like editing, I'm sure like your son, you said for longer videos he uses his laptop for editing and stuff. I'm sure like he's had like his own struggles, and there's been like roadblocks to where like, I hate this thing, like I don't want to edit anymore.
Yes.
And
He'll just stare at it, and it's like, I'll see the same screen, and then he'll like walk away and go watch TV for a little bit. Then he'll come back and sit down with his food, and it's like, all right, he's going for it again. Like,
Let's see what happens this time.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm like, something's pissing him off. You know?
yeah, I've had some of those. So if I were to just be able to sit down and do it perfectly, it would save so much time.
So do you enjoy doing that?
Honestly, I do. Yeah, I do need like because there's sometimes where editing the podcast takes like, I would say max an hour and a half.
Right.
There's times where I take like 20-minute breaks in between. But like I have my own personal YouTube channel, and I edit that, and that requires more like back-to-back editing, adding little stuff, because for the podcast it's just like switching angles and stuff.
Okay.
And for my YouTube channel, I have to like sit down and actually think about like, okay, how is this going to look cool? How is it going to be creative? And there's times where I'm like, okay, that looked like shit, but in my mind I thought that was going to be great.
Right.
And I just kind of sit there like, well, I have nothing else to do. Like, what the heck am I going to do? So I just like close my laptop, or like just sit there, or like start scrolling through my phone. But once I start scrolling through my phone, next thing I know, it's an hour later and time's gone.
You're like, the TikTok monster got you,
yeah,
right?
dude. Oh, it's so bad. I was talking about it the other day with Pablo. I was scrolling through TikTok, and literally like 30 minutes have gone by, and I didn't do anything but scroll through TikTok.
I feel like every time I get on TikTok, it's like I lose more Spanish words. You know what I mean? It's just like shit. I think I just like lost like a whole like vocabulary right there. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and then the next like hour, I'm like, you know, the wife and I are like chilling on the couch, and I'm back on there. It's like, it got me again.
You're like,
yeah.
I purposely start listening to like a Spanish podcast and Spanish music, just to get like in there, you know what I mean? But it's hard because I can understand it just fine, but then I turn around and try to speak it, and I'm like a caveman, you know, trying to speak Spanish.
Or you think about it too much, and you want to like over pronunciate the words, and you just sound stupid.
Yeah,
at least me.
I just try to speak at the level I speak English, and it does not come out like that. No.
All right. So, do you guys listen to a lot of podcasts?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I listen to.
Dude, I listen to so many podcasts all day.
Oh yeah.
All
You
day.
got any good ones?
Not that you guys would like, man. I mean, unless you're like really into fitness, it's like everything is.
You can't tell, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
Like,
dude, I listen to like, you know, some of them are like the basic. So like, I'm sure you guys have heard of like Mind Pump.
Yep.
You know,
Mind Pump.
and it's like Mind Pump. You got like Mark Bell. That's a pretty popular one.
Yep.
Those guys, like, I love all podcasts, right? Like when it comes to like fitness, I literally everything is fitness, diet, nutrition, or unfortunately the dark side, drugs. Okay. So my whole realm revolves around like these 3 things. And then it's like, some of them, it's like, it makes me angry when I listen to certain podcasts because I'm like, that's for your demographic, man. Like, that's not true. You know what I mean?
It's just giving out a bunch of false advice.
Yeah, where it's like, so I'll listen to like Mind Pump, and it's like, those guys obviously are, way richer than me and know so much. But it's like, even a Yahoo like me knows, like, yeah, that works great if you're like a 230-pound, 40-year-old woman. Like, but the bodybuilder, listening to this podcast, well, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't,
right.
And vice versa. Sometimes it's like you're listening to like Mark Bell, which is more of like he's a power lifter, and and so it's like, well, that doesn't, like squatting, benching, and deadlifting is great, but it's like for that 40-year-old, like 230-pound overweight woman, it's like there's a way better.
Just lose weight.
Yeah, so it's like sometimes it's like there's so much. Dude, like
so there's like extremes on every part.
A podcast, man. It's like podcasts and YouTube. It's like obviously, like you guys are getting to know me in an hour. It's like anywhere where I can absorb information, dude, I'm in. And it's like YouTube is so much knowledge.
Yeah. You just look at like search for what you're looking for, and it's there somewhere.
It's like, I mean, and podcasts. It's like if you can, because a lot of people don't like podcasts. It's just my opinion. They can't visualize what you're hearing. So a lot of people need to see it. My son's like that. He wants to see what I'm talking about. He likes the YouTube. And me, I'm like, I've kind of done enough in this realm where it's like I just listen to it and pick up the knowledge and be like, oh, I didn't know that, or that tip, or that trick.
Right.
But I learned so much. Like, I have all these certifications, like I told you, about bullshit that no one cares about. Okay? So, like, in however many years I've been doing this, no one came in and was like, can I see your certification? No one gives a shit.
Right, because at the end of the day, they just assume you have it, and they're like, all right,
they'll
help me lose weight.
Yeah, they'll ask you, like, a couple questions and be like, damn, this guy's legit. Or, you know what I mean? Or, like, it is what it is. They'll be like, if I get a 40-year-old dad come in with the dad bod, he's like, I don't care if you got your certificate at Toys R Us, bro. I will hire you to make me look like you. Like, okay, cool. Right? Like, he doesn't care about that.
Yeah.
But, like, the number one thing I probably did that helped me the most in personal training and, like, even working on my own physique was watching anatomy videos on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Dude, and it's like things like that. One of the trainers that worked at my studio, she was going to school for physical therapy. So she gave me a book, and she was just like, hey, here's a book. She's like, learn some of these, like where the lat muscle inserts, right? Where your chest muscles insert.
So that way you can train it specifically in the way it inserts,
Exactly.
right?
And once I learned where, like, the insertion points, it was like, I've been doing a lat pull wrong for goddamn 15 years, dude. And it's like, I'm not kidding you. Like, I watch these videos on, like, lats, right? Because I'm like, I had shit lats. Okay, so I'm like, I'm the guy that's like, I'm kind of like shaping the, like, little clay now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I want to be like some 210-pound monster. I'm kind of happy. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm shaping the little bits and pieces here. And so it's like, once I learned, like, the insertions to, like, your lats, your rhomboids, your back, all that stuff, it was like, damn, dude, I've been doing this all wrong.
You're like, no wonder they haven't been growing.
Yeah, so I went in and, like, hit this workout and, like, set up this weird contraption thing and isolated, and it's like, it destroyed my lats. And I'm like, I couldn't lift anywhere near the amount of weight because I was like, okay, I'm going to contract that muscle and only that muscle.
Yeah.
And it was like, that changed everything.
Yeah.
And literally, it was like, from watching anatomy videos on YouTube.
So ever since you started, now you've been seeing a lot more gains then?
Oh, yeah. And that was like probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. I always used to walk around at about 165. I felt comfortable there, especially because I was still trying to be like, like mobile and this, And then I was like, you know what? I'm getting old. I'm like, I'm probably not going to be able to put on muscle for that many more years. So I like kind of went into that, like what everybody calls the lean bulk. And I just stayed in a surplus for like 2.5 years, and I'm 185, and I'm like, it took a long time and a lot of food, but now I'm like, all right, I'm good. Like,
but you got to the point where you want to be.
I think so, yeah. If I eat more and move less and just train, I still get bigger, but it doesn't look the best. I start pushing too far.
Got it. Where you start holding on to more fat instead.
Yeah, and there's obviously science and stuff. So it's like, if I've got too much fat on me, like, it's just less efficient. So the leaner I stay, I basically want to, like, have visible abs, even at my heaviest.
Right.
That's basically like the gauge, and for my clients too. It's like, if you're really trying to get the most out of your bulk, you know what I mean? Because otherwise, it's like the best way to explain it. The more fat you have, the more parking spots you have for food. So it's like if you're super lean, it's like, and you go destroy that muscle, it's going to go to the muscle because it needs to go to that muscle. Like you have to train your ass off. But so yeah,
I never like that analogy. Like that's a good analogy to think about.
But it's so hard because it's like it's so individual. Where it's like some people you like. Dude, don't worry about building tons of muscle right now. Just lose some weight. Let's get you to like lower body fat percentage. And then all the carbs and fats that we do feed you, they're going to go to where they need to go.
Yeah, but the hard part is because a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, but like, can't I lose weight and gain muscle at the exact same time?
So if you're new, you can.
Right, but if you've been doing it for a while,
exactly.
You can't, and you've kind of been coasting.
Yeah.
You can't, and you just have to go all in, losing the fat that you want to lose, and then start building the muscle from there versus trying to do both and not getting anywhere.
Yeah, so if you've been away for a while or you're brand new, right, it is possible to lose fat and gain muscle. I mean, newbie gains. Everybody newbie gains.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Once you kind of use that up, what you're with is like, okay, this is kind of where those like 6 months to a year kind of gave you. Then it's like, it really does come down to, I mean, food, training, sleep, food, training, drugs, and then the leanness, man, and like people underestimate that. So it's like if you ever talk to guys that are like in really good shape, or you see them and they're like fairly lean all year round, right? Those guys are doing like AM fasted cardio. They're always on diet. It's like it's a pain in the ass to look good all year round. You know what I mean? And it's like you can get away from it for a little bit, but it's like you got to keep it dialed in because once it starts to go, it's like now you got to shut down the building muscle process, diet down, and it's like nobody wants to do that. Like I don't want to stop training hard because that's 4 weeks. If I'm going to be in a diet, I'm not building anything or shaping anything.
Right.
Like I'm going to die early because I beat the crap out of my body and I don't sleep. I ain't wasting 4 weeks not building something.
Right. You're like, I need all the time I can get.
Yeah. So it's I mean, yeah.
Well, before we get into this last, would you rather? You brought up drugs and it clicked again.
Right.
And with the whole YouTube stuff, do you know who Derek from More Plates, More Dates is? Okay. Because he's one that I listen to a lot, and I'm not gonna lie. A lot of it goes over my head.
Dude, I love that guy.
Yeah, because he goes really deep into the pharmaceutical stuff.
Pharmacology is huge, man. Like, it is this... And it's like, nutrition is the same way. So nutrition is like this huge funnel of things that, like, people think it's like fats, carbs, and proteins, right? And it's like, dude, it's so much more than what people think. Like...
Because it includes like vitamins and like the minerals you're getting and like supplementing them if you're not getting them through your diet.
Okay, dude, it's never ending. That's what I'm saying. Like you guys, like more plates, more dates.
Start getting heated up right now.
Oh, bro, this is the shit that I love talking about.
Yeah,
that's what I'm like, man. You bring me back. You can talk about like nutrition one day. I'm like again,
one whole podcast.
I don't know how your like demographic is as far as like your views.
Actually, I have a recommendation on the podcast.
Yeah, dude, I'll take it.
I'll let them know, but not for you to listen, I guess, but if you want to, but more for you to have on as a guest.
Okay.
On them, they're from Lafayette, and they're moving to Houston soon to start like their whole fitness stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And it's Cole and Elias, and they run a podcast called the InSpoCast.
Okay.
And they're coming up, and they have like 2 or 3 times the subscribers and views that we have.
They're about like 120 subscribers, and their whole channel is just based on getting like fitness influencers.
Dude.
Like,
and it's like straight fitness, and like the nutrition stuff. And they have people on who have been doing fitness for like 50, 40 years and all that stuff. So I think you'd be a great guest on there.
Yeah. And I was, it's like, I'm an open book. I told you, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, I'm real, man. It's like,
yeah,
that's why people ask me, like, you might not like what I tell you. You know what I mean? When people ask me about their fitness, and it's like, when it comes to fitness, man, I love macros. One of the biggest like horseshit things in the world is like Gatorade. Okay, it pisses me off to no end. Where I'm like,
okay, so why?
So people are like,
right now.
people are like, they're kids, and it's like the Gatorade and the hydration, and it's like, fool, shut up. Like, feed your kid a banana or some sweet potatoes and just give him a gallon of water. Okay? Because it's like the electrolytes and Gatorade and this and that. And it's like, dude, there's nothing in there that you can't get. Like a banana, I don't remember how many times more potassium a banana has than Gatorade. But it's all marketing. That's like one thing where it's like marketing. Like, I used to deal a lot with gin pop clients, right? So the studio, it was like weight loss, normal, clients. I call them gin pop, lifestyle clients, I guess is what most people call them.
Right.
Now I've definitely moved into a whole nother realm. All my clients now, like I'm very few are lifestyle clients. So I train a couple of bodybuilders. I train quite a few power lifters. And then I train essentially guys that I would say are already in shape, but are trying to get to that next level.
Got it.
That is by far my main clientele right now.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was like, you guys want to get more views and more hits, man? I'm like, dude, I could do the dark side of fitness podcast, whatever you guys want, because it's never ending. You know what I mean? It's just
Well, once we turn the cameras off, maybe we can try to set up another date. Where you come and we can start talking about like the dark side of it, because it definitely is that dark side that not very many people talk about.
Nobody talks about it.
Yeah,
and it all for me. Obviously, I'm a dad. Okay, so it's like for me, I get real heated and like. I'm not saying I get pissed, but it's like all these people out there, it's like, dude, be honest, because I'm like, my kid wants to be like you.
Right.
And he is not going to be like you because he's not doing what you're doing.
Yeah. He's not shooting up all these steroids and stuff in the background that you're not showing.
That's part of my job now. It's like, I do literally consultations with people where it's just like, I'm going to tell you not to do this, okay? But you're not going to listen to me anyways. So I need you to go get your blood work done. I need you to get all this stuff in line. And this is how you do this as safely as humanly possible. There is no safe way to do this.
Yeah.
Don't kid yourself and be like, Coach said. The coach didn't say shit, okay? You're shaving like time at the end of your life for this now. So... But my whole thing, it's like, I get pissed where it's like, like The Rock. It's like people are like, oh, The Rock's natural. Are you fucking crazy?
No.
That motherfucker came from Mars if he's natural.
Yeah. Especially after he was doing all this stuff for Black Adam for his newest movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, there's no way.
Yeah, it's like he's huge.
Working out like midnight every night, only sleeping like 2-3 hours every night.
That guy's veins are as big as my arms.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so I mean that whole thing is just, and it's because of the kids, man. Like my kids grew up, they're like, oh, this dude and that dude, and I'm like, dude, that dude's saucing, man. Like, pick this guy over here. Well, that guy. He's not that impressive. I'm like, no, he is impressive because he worked his ass off. You know what I mean? That boy's natty as hell. Like, he might not be The Rock or whatever, but it's like, dude, that's hard to do, to achieve naturally. Like, that dude works his ass off. And I have like both, the natty and the not natty. And I'm like, the guys that are natty get super peeled, dude. Super peeled. Like, they're shredded to the bone on stage, or like some of the guys are like, they'll just basically hire me like, hey, I'm going on this cruise for my whatever,
And he just wants to look good.
Yeah, he's like, I want like, or photo shoots. I get that sometimes too.
Right.
So it's like, all right, cool. We've got like a 3-month time frame or whatever. Some of them guys get peeled, dude. And it's like, but that's the difference between like gin pop clients where it's like, I just need you to pick a vegetable and eat it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard to get some people to just eat this vegetable that you chose.
To just do something.
Yeah. And then I've got the other end where it was like, Coach, I'll eat rocks from the driveway if that's what you tell me I have to eat. I will eat whatever you tell me in the amounts that you tell me. And I'm like, I'm sticking with these clients over here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the other clients is like, they just make you look bad.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they do. Because if you have on the other end where they're doing pretty much exactly what you say, it's not like, it's like you literally know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You've done this for years, and you literally show it off through yourself.
Yeah.
So when they have like they're walking around like that. And like, oh, like you work out. How's this? Oh, actually, I'm getting trained by this person.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, all right, cool. Like I might see about like hitting him up, see if I can get trained too.
Yeah, that's why like you guys were asking about like the videos and stuff. I'm like, that ain't for me. You know what I mean? Like my business essentially is like one client. You know, you go to a powerlifting meet and it's like my client will hand out a couple of business cards and it's like I get like 2 or 3 hits and it's like, I'm probably not the coach for you. Here's the guy. You know, and then it's like, okay, those two, those are like kind of my style. Let's go with that. So I'll take a couple of those and it's like, you know, work with him. And they cycle through too. So it's like when you're dealing with like clients like that, it's like, okay, well, I have an off season, you know, do you want to work with me in the off season? Yeah, cool. Like we'll structure your diet, but they don't need as much help, you know, when they're getting ready to like do a competition, you know, so like my power lifters and stuff, like their nutrition changes like week to week, you know what I mean? Pharmacology changes week to week. Everything changes. So it's like you have to like really like 12 weeks. It's like, homie, we're in this together. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I was telling you about. Like, I want to know my clients. It's like,
so you only have like a handful.
Yeah, I can't be like, oh, what's this guy running? Oh, this guy's
can't.
Like this guy's eating 80 grams of Fruity Pebbles pre-workout. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like powerlifters. It's like, bro, you're eating Fruity Pebbles and muffins. Those are my go-to. You know what I mean? It's like quick carbs. Them guys burn through calories. It's insane. Yeah. So it's like, that's what I want to know. I don't want to be like, oh, dude, we're going to cut out your muffin. Coach, I don't eat muffins. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a Fruity Pebbles guy. About? Damn it, you know? Right. So, yeah. That's why it's like I'm real picky and choosy, and I kind of try and keep my
your clientele tight.
Yeah, because on the other end, the people who like don't like to listen to what you tell them, they, like you said, they're a bad image because people ask them, like, oh, I remember you going to that one guy, like, yeah, like, it didn't work out. And then that kind of, like, looks bad on you when actually, like, they just didn't want to put the work in.
Yeah, it's like they just don't have the willpower. Yeah. They don't have the drive or, you know, and everybody wants it. It's like the magic pill, you know. They think that hiring me is the magic pill. But I paid you. Well, that's not how it works. Like, you got to do the shit that I tell you, otherwise it doesn't work.
It's like you paid me, but did you actually follow the meal plan? Did you follow like the sleep schedule or like the workouts, or you just kind of just paying me and doing what you want?
Yeah, that's, you know, it's like they think like, oh, I swiped the card, like I sent my payment.
Where
like,
are my abs?
I didn't lose.
Imagine you swipe and just
Me and Olivia always joke, you know, it's like if I could lose the weight for them, I'm like, I'd be a billionaire. You know what I mean? Dude, how much could I charge? Be like, all right, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds for you in, you know, 6 weeks. Be like, how much could you charge? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you charge a lot.
Shit ton. You know what I mean? I'm not going up to Lafayette. Be like, I'm hitting Beverly Hills. Be like, 20 pounds, 6 weeks. What do you got?
Yeah.
But I will say this: one of my favorite clients ever was like a 60-some-year-old like woman. You know what I mean? She had a knee replacement, hip replacement. Like, those are my favorite, probably of all time clients, and I still go back and forth with them. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like, you know, you just never know, man. And this whole game, obviously it's been a long time now, but so it's like, those are the ones that are like super satisfying. Love working with the kids, but like, you know, her name's Shirley, but so she was like, she's big into horses and all this. And it's like, she couldn't bend over to pick up her saddle, you know, and her knee was getting all stiff. And, you know, as an older person, it's like, it slowly starts to go and then it gets worse. And then other things start to go because it's like, well, now she's not moving. And
before you know it, she's just on a wheelchair or something.
Yeah. And so it's like with her, she came in and she was like, I don't care. I'll do whatever you want. And she was the all eat, like, rocks from the driveway client, but at like, you know, 60 something. And I'm like, she worked her ass off. So it's like people like that, man, like, I got you. You're like, I love that. You know, it's really hard for me, like, being in this industry because I have this mindset, and it's like I expect everybody else to have the same mindset.
Yeah, right. And when they don't, you're like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?"
Yeah, like, you know, Olivia still talks about it. Like, we had a plane one time. We were in Florida. We had to get up at like 4. I'm like, I got up at like 2. Went to the gym because it was leg day. So I'm like, I got up at 2. Went to the gym. Leg day. Came back home. Showered. Got the kids in the car. Drove to the airport because the plane left at like 5 or whatever. Yeah. I don't give a shit. It's leg day, man. I'm not missing leg day. Or like, if you guys scroll through the old Instagram, it's like you're going to see tons of me eating cold ass chicken and tuna driving, or, you know what I mean? Like, in random places. So I'm like,
by any means.
But it's hard because it's like, that's the hardest part of this. It's like, not everybody has that mindset. So you have to like work with what mindset they have and bring the best, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard. But yeah, man, dude, I'm telling you, like, when you start talking like macros, potassium, minerals, blood work, dude, I'm a dork when it comes to like,
for real?
bro,
I don't know anything about it, but besides just like watching the videos that Derek puts out and just like trying to understand, but not really knowing what he's talking about.
Dude, it's so much. And that's probably one of my favorite. Derek, I like hella knowledgeable, you know what I mean? Plus, not just that, like the dude's got companies, you know, off of that now. So it's like,
you know what I mean? He has his own companies that will take blood work for other people and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's got pre-workout. He's got supplement companies.
Oh, yeah. The only thing I don't like about him, which, you know, he doesn't care what I think, obviously. But so I don't like the guys that do the like, this is what this guy is running. And this
like
is
where you start speculating?
Yeah, where they like pick up like the like popular influencers or whatever that are popular right now. And they'll be like, this is what his cycle is. And it's like, shut the hell up. Like, there is no way in hell, because I've seen so much blood work and seen so much in this industry where I'm like, dude, you cannot even guess. It's like some guys are freaking mutants, and it's like it doesn't take damn near anything, and it's like he's going to be way bigger than me no matter what I take.
Yeah, no matter what you take.
It does not matter. Like Chris Bumstead is going to be a massive man with or without. It does not matter. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, I don't like that, because a lot of guys, it's like they'll take some of these guys and it's like, this is their dosage they're taking, and I'm like, dude, you don't know that. You're making him out like he's
dosages.
Like he's a bad guy, or like he's gonna kill himself, and he's doing all this, and it's like, dude, he's like a physique guy. Like it's not, he's not running some crazy amounts. Like
he's out here looking like Kai Green or
and some of them are like pretty open about what they're doing. I'm like, I respect that. Like I totally respect that. So I'm like, but they're not going to tell you what they're taking. Why? Because they don't want kids taking the shit too.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's a whole nother world, man. Like blood work, pharmacology, macros, your all that stuff, man. Yeah.
That would definitely be taking me out of my element really bad. Yeah, I would just kind of sit here and just let you go.
That's what I was saying. You know, it's like it's like all about demographic. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I can like nerd out on stuff and be like, talk about like hematocrit and hemoglobin, and people will be like, what? Be like, it's blood stuff, man. It's all good.
Don't worry about it.
So
All right. Well, I got one last one that is not very serious, but okay. So, would you rather have ham for hands or dispense lotion from your armpits?
Oh, bro. Ham for hands. I got a dog, man, so he's gonna like. I gotta go with the lotion thing. Yeah, he's gonna eat my hands, dude. There's no way. He's a bastard. Yeah, I'm going with the lotion. You know,
I think I would go with lotion too. That way I don't have to buy lotion anymore. Because
after a shower, we just start rubbing on my head. You know? Yeah, dude. Exactly.
Dude, what if it's like Dollar General lotion though? It ain't like good lotion. You know what I mean? Or it's like that shit when you go to a hotel room where it's like the free sample stuff.
Yeah, they're like this big.
Yeah. It's like, you know.
You start rubbing the lotion on people. And hey, you want some lotion? Just go like this.
Got you, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Well, dang. Well, with that being said, appreciate you guys for watching. Please let us know if what your fitness journeys have been like, or anything like that. And please stay tuned for the next episode of the PG Talk. And we will try and make it happen to have George on again. Because this was fun. I hope you had fun being here.
Yeah, man. I love
talking,
shooting the shit.
Thanks for making the drive and coming on.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah,
we'll plug your fitness page in the description so people can go check it out.
Yep.
And hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.